Are you telling me there is a durable, custom, DIY aquarium top for only under $5 that I can make? Well, stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadrenaquatics. Thanks again for joining me. Today, guys, we are going to go over some custom tops for aquariums. So, you know, if you guys buy the glass ones, those things can get pretty expensive, especially when you run a fish room, you got multiple tanks. It can get very, very expensive. So people are always trying to come up with different ways to create a good top using the things that are out there right now. One of the ones that I've tried before is the, it's kind of like a corrugated clear plastic. It's a kind that goes like this, and then down, and then up, and then down. Well, that stuff is real flexible. You may have seen it on King of DIY. He had it on that tank that had the big arowana in it. But it was, you know, it's real kind of bouncy, and also because of those ridges and stuff on it, it doesn't sit in there perfectly, and you know, lets air in or whatever it is, and it comes off pretty easy. So what I like to use is polycarbonate sheets. Now these sheets are specifically designed to build greenhouses. So you can only imagine they're designed to let as much of the sunlight through as possible, which is exactly what we need, because we don't want to get something up there that's blocking, you know, certain color gammas of the light getting through there and affecting the growth of our plants. So this is the polycarbonate sheet. This stuff comes, I'll link it down below. You can buy some on Amazon, but this stuff actually, I buy it from Home Depot. Lowe's doesn't carry it. It's a 2-foot by 8-foot sheet. And to make it easy to find in Lowe's, let me show you a quick video of us making our way to it. All right, here we are at our local Home Depot. Gonna make our way in and get the stuff that we need. So let me ask you guys. Lowe's is my place to go, and like, I don't really like Home Depot, so I feel kind of dirty when I'm in here. How do you guys feel? Okay, here we are in the right section. The stuff that we are looking for is this right here. Sheet of it right here. We'll grab this stuff. There it is. All right, so now you see exactly how to find it. Again, it's a 2-foot by 8-foot sheet. It's $36 per sheet. It's kind of expensive, but man, it works out so well, because this stuff it's extremely durable. It's extremely hard to bend. I mean, it's tough, just because of the way that it's designed, because it's got all these air pockets that go all throughout it, so it's got some really strong ridges and stuff that are built through it. So this stuff works absolutely great. So first thing, I won't bother you guys showing you what it looks like to cut it on the table saw. You guys know how to cut stuff. Well, maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't. Maybe some of you probably don't even be operating a table saw. I know there's times when I didn't used to need to be operating a table saw. A couple of times I was operating, I probably shouldn't have been operating it. But the blade that you want to use a blade that's got at least 100 teeth per, what's it called? 100 teeth per, I don't know. I'll link one down below so you guys can see, but you want one that has a real tight pitch of teeth on it. You don't want one that's made for wood. You basically want one, I think it's kind of made for metal. It does a lot better job of cutting through this. And so, being this size, you can make a top for just about any tank. I can't imagine what you couldn't, because you're going to want to make it in 2 pieces so that you have a, what's the word, Jason? What's the word? A hinge. You want a hinge so that you can open and shut it. And so the one that I want to show you right now is making it for 10-gallon aquariums. Again, I've made it for 40s and 20s, 55s also. The other thing good is if you're doing it on a big tank, this stuff is so rigid, it can extend a long way without flexing. Whereas that other stuff I was talking about, that stuff that's like made to go on like top of roofs or whatever, that stuff gives a lot. Okay, so something cool that I learned about doing these 10-gallon aquariums is if you take a 10-gallon and you measure the distance to see how wide it needs to be, the width in this thing is about 9 3/4 inches. So the type of top that I'm gonna make is a top that sits like this so that I can open like this. And of course you can make one that opens like this also, but most of the time when you have a bunch of tins in, this is the direction that you put them so that you can get the most in there. So we got 9 3/4. So what you do is you set your guide on your table saw to 9 3/4. And so you take it and you make that first cut at 9 3/4. And you can just keep making them at 9 3/4 until you can get 10 out of it, okay? So when you get, so this is what you end up with. This is a 9 3/4 inch wide by 2 foot tall. One thing I want you to notice on this stuff is on the sides, it's real flush. See if you can kind of get a better look at that. It's round, it's completely rounded off on both sides. So I like to use this side as the opening side and this side as the back side. And so if you put it in here right now, it fits just right, except that you have all of this overhang on it. So the cool thing is you've already got your table saw that you made this cut at 9 3/4. You simply turn it this way, cut that at 9 3/4, again so that you have this piece, and then you turn it around and you cut this piece at 9 3/4. And so when you make that cut, now what you end up with is these 2 pieces, okay? Again, we've got that rounded edge here, and we've got that rounded edge here. So now we've got this piece that goes like this. Okay, so now if you take this and you put this in the aquarium, so end to end, you can see that it fits just right. I need to cut a little bit more off on the side here. I cut this one too long, which is really weird because I took this thing and I tried it on one of the tanks downstairs, and it fit perfectly. But this is just to show you guys. Let's measure this thing. What's going on? Oh, we're at 9 7/8. That's why we're about a 1/16 of an inch too long. But either way, you can see it. So now when you put it together like this, this is the exact length of the tank. So it fits in there completely snug. So what's cool is you're keeping it all at the same size. So you can cut out 10 this way and then turn them sideways and cut them into pieces. So you'll end up with 10 of these total. So that means you can make 10 tops for 10-gallon aquariums for $3.60 each. So that's a whole lot cheaper than making the glass ones. And so the next thing is, how do we want to hinge this thing together? Well, I thought about a lot of different things, and then I came up with the idea of simply using 2-inch masking tape, okay? You're thinking, 2-inch masking tape, Jason? What? That's the best that you can come up with? Hear me out, hear me out. Okay, so you can see we got our 2-inch clear masking tape. Okay, bear with me, I couldn't find the 2-inch clear masking tape, so we had to use the 2-inch painter's tape. Yeah, I know, it's blue and the sunlight can't get through it. This is just for you guys to see how it's done, okay? So we simply take a piece of this 2-inch tape and we tear it about the length of it. And again, we're keeping the rounded sides on the outside. We put that on there like that. Okay, so now when you have this in there, you can now you've got a point where that you can open it with a hinge. And if you, of course, if you want to make this smaller, you only want it to pop up over here, you can cut it a different size. I like to be able to open it up as much as I can, so it's a whole lot easier to get a net down there and to catch stuff. And so, the reason that I like to use the packing tape, okay, yeah, I know, blue, not packing tape. Stay with me. Is because these things get funky. I mean, funky, funky, funky. And part of the reason is all of these holes right here are open. So that algae and stuff likes to get in there and grow. So every once in a while you can take these things and you can just pop your tape off there, and you can take them and it makes it a whole lot easier to clean them. Heck, maybe even run them to the dishwasher. I laugh because if my wife came home and saw these tops in the dishwasher, that would be a problem. That'd be a big problem. Okay, so next thing is, what are we going to use as a handle to be able to open this thing? Because again, this thing sits in there completely flush. Very difficult to get your finger under here to open this thing. So what I found to use are these command hooks. I'll link these down below so you can see what these guys are. Every once in a while on Amazon, you'll find like a weird like blue color or something where you can buy like 16 of them for, I don't know, $1 or something a piece. And some people say, well, these don't work very good, they wear out. Well, here's the thing, is the stuff that you use on the back, here it is. Sorry, I dropped it. So these things right here, these are the pull-off tabs. These are the ones that are designed, when you put it on, years later if you want to, you can pull this stuff and it pops off and this thing just comes off. So you can replace this anytime you want. And whenever you buy these, you usually get double the amount of these. So you just simply pull off both sides, put the right side on, it says on there which side goes where. Stick it on there, and then attach it like that. And again, now you've got a simple handle on how to open these things. And I can't remember how much these are. It seems like I was buying, when I was buying them in bulk, I think I was getting them for less than $1. So you can see how that works. That works absolutely fantastic. Again, you can cut this whatever direction that you want to design for whatever size tank that you want. Again, I just suggest that whichever way you cut this stuff, that you at least make this rounded side the front part that opens up to you. Because you guys know, as you're feeding the fish, you typically get fish food like all over the edge. At least I do. I get it all over the place. I'm speed feeding all of them. So every time this thing goes back down, it's going to get that junk in it and mold and everything else is going to grow. So I would suggest that you always use this rounded side as the front side of it. Okay, so this is the piece that you have left over. Once you make this cut, this is the piece that existed right here, okay? So this is the excess piece. So what you can do is, if you save all these excess pieces, you can use these to create another one. It may take like 4 or 5 of these to reach all the way to the end, but then it allows you to get another, I think, you can get 2 more lids. So now instead of getting 10 lids, you can get 12 lids. It doesn't look as good, and you're not ever gonna get the rounded side because this is always the middle piece, but it keeps you from wasting it. And again, this stuff is kind of expensive, so it's nice to be able to make 2 more lids out of this. So I hope I helped somebody out. I hope someone got some good ideas from this. If you guys are doing something else that seems to be working much better, I'd love for you to leave the comments down below. I'm always loving to learn, find better ways of doing things. This is just the way that I learned to do it. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.